Hello, this is Michelle Smith from the Lord & Smith team, powered by eXp Realty. I am a realtor in the state of Virginia, and I am coming on here today just to talk to you a little bit about buying a home. Home ownership is a noble goal. It is a wonderful thing to own a home, to be a homeowner and have a place that you call home, that you can enjoy your family with, that you can have friends over and entertain, that you can make memories in. A home is a wonderful investment. And there are many people who desire to buy a home. If you're one of those people, I want to talk to you today. So I'm here to talk to first-time home buyers or people who just want to buy a home and want to understand something about the process of buying a home. And so I decided to come to you today in this video format just to talk about that process. I'm going to be, at least that's the plan, to be doing some first-time home buyer workshops where you will be able to attend and get your questions answered. We're looking to have some lenders or settlement companies present so that you can ask your questions about loans, so you can ask questions about settlement and about the process in general. But today I just wanted to talk with you a little bit about what it takes to buy a home and to let you know that it is entirely possible to purchase a home in a timely fashion. In fact, right now, I am open for clients if you are looking to purchase a home and you want to be in that home before the holidays. Now, it is the first week of November. It is possible to be in your home before Christmas. And in some cases, it may even be possible to get in there by Thanksgiving. But you would have to call me today, and we would have to get your ducks in a row pretty quickly. But it is possible. So feel free to give me a call if you are looking to purchase a home. I am here to help you no matter what time of year it is, no matter what season it is. Feel free to just give a shout out. So let's talk a little bit today about buying a home, being a first-time home buyer. I remember when I was buying my first home or looking to buy, I had to take a little time to prepare to buy a home. In order to buy a home, you want to make sure that your credit is acceptable and that you can be pre-qualified for a mortgage. Really, that is the first step. And no matter what other people tell you, the first step, if you are truly looking to buy a home, if you're not just window shopping, if you're not just kicking the tires, if you actually want to buy a home, your number one first step is to get pre-qualified for a mortgage. Because by doing that, you find out exactly how much money you can spend to buy that home. You can find out what you're qualified for, and you're also going to find out other requirements that you're going to need in order to successfully get that loan done. Whether it be your down payment, paying for your appraisal, or other things that you may need to do to get your ducks in a row to be approved for your loan. So the best thing to do is to not necessarily to start with a real estate agent. You didn't think I was going to say that, did you? But the truth is, it's not necessarily the best thing to get started with a real estate agent. You need to get started with a lender. Now, you can contact a real estate agent to find a great lender. Yours truly can certainly give you a great lender. But the first step is really examining your financial ability to purchase a house. And if you do that one thing first, you're going to make everything else a breeze, because that's what your realtor is here to do. And once you are pre-qualified or pre-approved for a mortgage, then your real estate professional can step on in and make the process as easy and as smooth as humanly possible. Now, buying a home isn't always smooth. It isn't always easy, which is why you need a real estate professional. We are here to navigate the waters, to help you understand what's going on throughout the process, and to bring you to settlement successfully and hand you those keys so you can get into your new home. So pre-qualification is what is important, and a lender is going to do things like look at your income. They're going to look at your credit scores. They're going to look at your debt to income ratio. Basically, they're going to look at how much income you have, how much debt you have to pay, and see the proportion of income to debt. Because if you have too much debt and not enough income, you wouldn't be able to qualify for the additional debt of having a mortgage to buy a house. So paying down debt is important. I think even more important may be paying on time. Paying your bills on time. That is what is going to help your credit score go as high as humanly possible. There are free ways to monitor your credit. Certainly feel free to send me an email at michellesmithrealtor@gmail.com. That's michellesmithrealtor@gmail.com. And I can send you out some information on free ways to monitor your credit. One of them is to go to annualcreditreport.com. You can get your complete credit report once a year, absolutely free. But there's some other ways I'd like to tell you about. Feel free to send me an email. So monitoring your credit, paying your bills on time, taking care of all of that, making sure your credit scores are as high as possible is very important. Making sure that your income is sufficient. You want to also have been on your job for a little while. It's important to show stable employment. That's something else that some loan programs do look at. But a good lender can help you understand in short order. It doesn't take long to assess where you stand financially, and a really good lender will tell you exactly what you need to do to get qualified. A very good lender understands the credit process. They understand how the credit bureaus work, and they can help you determine exactly what you need to do, and they can give you a good idea of just how long it'll take to get that done to qualify for the mortgage. So once you've qualified for the mortgage, what you need to do is call me. Call your friendly neighborhood real estate professional or someone on the Lord and Smith team, and talk with them about buying a home. So what you're going to need to think about is, what do I want in a home? What am I really looking for? And one of the best ways to figure out what you want is to examine your lifestyle. Do you want something that has very little maintenance and a whole lot of amenities? Well, you might want to consider a condominium. If you want something that's a little bit more spacious, it's going to give you a little bit more privacy, you might want to consider a single family home. And if you're a person that, for example, wants to do whatever you want to do on your property, if you want to have 5 cars in your front yard, you can do that, or something of that nature, you might want to consider a community that does not have a homeowners association. However, if it's very important to you that both you and your neighbors maintain your properties to a certain level, if it's important to you that you have certain amenities, maybe a community pool, perhaps a community clubhouse, some tennis courts, things of that nature, then you might want to look at communities with a homeowners association that has those amenities. So deciding what you want also is informed by how big your family is. How many bedrooms are you going to need? How many bathrooms are you going to need? Do you have an elderly person living with you? Do you need a bedroom on the first level? Do you need an in-law suite? Do you want a garage, a covered garage? Or do you just want a big carport? Uh, does it really matter one way or another if you have a garage? Do you need a fully fenced in backyard? Do you have pets? Um, where you may need a fully fenced in yard. All of these things are things that you need to think about so that you can figure out what is really the best home for me that's going to support my lifestyle, where I'm going to be happy and enjoying. Do you like to cook? Do you want a large kitchen? Do you want a gourmet kitchen? Do you want to eat in kitchen? When your family all gets together for holidays, does everybody sort of congregate in the kitchen and laugh and joke and talk while you're cooking? Or do they stay in the family room and play games? Do you need a large family room for something like that? All of those things are things that you want to think about when you're trying to decide what kind of home do I want. What kind of home do I want to buy? You also want to think about things like, if you have a family, well, what about the school district? How is that? How are the schools? How far is the house? Should the house be from the school? How far should the house be from where you work? That is a big thing. Commuting distance really affects quality of life. And so you want to think about, what mile radius from where I work do I want my house to be? And it's something that you need to also rank in order of importance. You really need to decide what is the most important thing. Because many times I may have clients that want a certain type of home, but because of where they want to be located, perhaps a home with all of the amenities and things that they want is out of their price range. So, are you willing to travel a little longer of a distance to get the perfect house that's in your price range? So those things are all things that you need to think about. Or is it just essential that you be within 5 miles of your job? And so sometimes when you're thinking about those things, it takes a little work to say, okay, what is really important to me? But once you have a rock solid idea of what you want, or even if it's not rock solid, an agent can help you sort through and try to figure out what it is that you want. You're going to want to describe that to your agent. You're going to want to let your agent know, here is my criteria for my perfect home. And then that agent is able to identify listings in the area that meet your criteria. And they will be able to send you listings or show you listings that should, based on your criteria, be at least in the ballpark of what you want. Sometimes when you start house hunting, you start seeing other things, seeing how other houses are laid out, and sometimes your criteria changes. A good agent understands that and will help you make those adjustments accordingly. There is really nothing more wonderful to me than when we walk in a house and my client turns to me and says, "Oh, Michelle, this is it. This is it." That's something that is personally satisfying to me. I love showing homes, and I love helping my clients find the place to call home, the place where they're going to build many memories and enjoy themselves. So it's really a great thing, something that I strive for, to help you find what really is your perfect home, whether it be your forever home or whether it be just the home that you're going to be in for a little while until you move elsewhere, until you make a change. Some people, like for example, military, it's not going to be their forever home, but they want it to be something where they're going to enjoy while they are stationed where they're stationed. And for military families, a lot of times you're looking at homes that they know that they're going to invest in. They may move, but they're going to go ahead and keep that home and rent it out for an income, for a passive income. And so all of those things, you have to think about that. Is this a home that I want to stay in for the rest of my life? Or am I just looking for a home that eventually I know I'm going to be a landlord, landlady, and I'm going to rent that out. I'm going to need property management and all of that. It's going to be an investment for the future. So all of that affects what you're really looking for. Some things like hobbies affect where you want to live. Do you sail? Do you want to be close to the water? Do you own horses and you want to be, for example, in a homeowners association that has a stable? They're out there. Do you want to be close to a stable where you can board your horses? Do you want to board your horses right on your property? You know, all of those things are things that you want to think about when you are looking for the best home, the place that you want to call home. And so once you do determine that, your agent is going to give you listings and you all are going to go on a house hunt. And once you find the home that you really want to make an offer on, your agent is able to write that offer. Now, you may not realize this if you've never bought a home before, but it doesn't take all day to write an offer. If you're ready and you have something called your earnest money deposit along with your pre-approval letter from your lender, an offer can be written same day. And it can be, you know, in the listing agent's email very, very quickly. And so you make your offer, and listing agents have an obligation to get back to you in a timely fashion regarding offers. So they have an obligation to present offers in a timely fashion to the sellers. And so you'll hear back. Now, when you make an offer, 3 things can happen. They can accept your offer, and then you're what's called under contract. They can reject your offer, and then you'll have to either modify it or go find another home. Or they can counter offer. A counter offer is when the seller says, you know, I want to work with you, I want to sell the house, but the terms of your offer are not acceptable to me. So what about this? And they will change some aspect of the offer. It could be the price. It could be something regarding the seller subsidy, which is how much money the seller will contribute toward your closing costs. Some sellers are not able to help you with your closing costs. Some sellers can help you, but they can only help you to a certain point. All of these are negotiating points. They could modify the settlement date. Maybe you want to close in 30 days. Maybe they want to close in 45 because of whatever obligations they feel they have that delay them getting out of the house in time for you to move in. There are just so many different aspects of an offer, and the counter offer can come in, and then I would talk to you about that counter offer and say, hey, they've countered your offer. This is what they're saying. What do you think? And once we've decided what's acceptable to you, we can either accept the counteroffer or we can counter the counteroffer. But that negotiation goes on between your buyer's agent, myself, and the seller's agent. And of course, if I were your seller's or listing agent, then it would be the other way around. Because I definitely enjoy listing homes as well. So once you have achieved what we in the industry like to call a meeting of the minds. A meeting of the minds means you have decided, both the buyer and the seller have agreed on what is going to happen with regard to the contract, and they have agreed and the offer has been accepted or the counter offer has been accepted. Then you are what's called under contract to buy a home. And so you know you're under contract. There's certain things you're going to have to do in order to fulfill the contract. And if all the terms of the contract are fulfilled within the time frames in the contract, you will go to settlement, buy a home. Sign a whole bunch of papers and get yourself a key and buy a home. And so there are many things that happen during the contract. One of the things that I'll talk about today very quickly is the importance of a home inspection. If you're a first-time home buyer, do not buy a house without a home inspection. A home inspection tells you exactly what you're buying. It helps you understand the true condition of the house things that you may not be able to see with the naked eye, things that you may not understand because you've never bought a house before. A home inspection is essential, especially for a first-time home buyer. So a home inspection is the first thing done once you're under contract. And then if you find things that need to be fixed about the house, your agent, myself, hopefully, will negotiate with the seller to say, hey, you know, we're ready, we want to buy the house, but we need to have this or this fixed prior to settlement. And some things are going to be requirements of your lender. You know, your lender may say, well, you know, this needs to be fixed depending on what type of loan you're getting. For example, for the military folks out there, VA loans, even they do an extra inspection, you know, outside of the home inspection to determine if the house is truly in an acceptable condition for the VA to go ahead and lend you the money to buy the home. So there are many different types of loans out there, and your lender can talk to you about the types of loans out there. There are loans for first-time home buyers that are zero money down. There are homes that are not for first-time home buyers that can get you zero money down. Sometimes you can get a loan, which is a first loan and a second loan together, so that you have zero money down. Sometimes you can qualify for a grant that will pay your down payment. And so then you have a mortgage that is zero money down. One of my favorite things to do is to be able to get my buyer clients a zero money down loan and have the seller pay closing costs so that you either get a portion of or sometimes all of your earnest money deposit back at settlement. I love to do that for first-time home buyers and for military. And the loan programs are out there to help you do that. I love to do that for anyone, actually, because really it is a wonderful thing to achieve home ownership. And so once you get once you settle what's going to be fixed from the home inspection, and you may have also gotten a radon inspection at the time you got the home inspection. Radon inspections are typically optional in Virginia. However, they are highly recommended. Radon is an odorless, colorless gas that rises up from the ground, and there's radon in every home. But there are government regulations as to how much radon, what level of radon can be in your home. Radon causes cancer, which is why people test for it. And if the radon is too high, the seller typically remediates it or fixes it in order to sell the home. So, and of course, you know, your lender is going to require that something like that be taken care of. You should require that something like that be taken care of. That's why there are cutoffs mandated for where radon should be in homes. But if you don't test for it, you don't know, and you can't benefit from what you don't know about. So we do highly recommend that you have a radon test done. But once all that's taken care of and everything that needs to be fixed is going to be fixed, it's going to be very important for you, the buyer, to make sure you're working very closely with your lender to get your financing in order and to make sure you are going to be approved for the mortgage you pre-qualified or were pre-approved for. And so that's going to be very important. There may be information, paperwork that you're going to have to provide for the lender, and you need to provide those things in a timely fashion so that you can close on time. Now, depending on what kind of home you're buying, there are other inspections that are going to be done. There may be a termite inspection. We like to call it a wood-destroying insect inspection. If you have a conventional septic or well water, you're going to have water tests and septic inspections that are done. These type of inspections are typically, not always, but typically paid for by the seller because the seller needs to show that they have a safe and sanitary home with certain things that are in working order, and lenders require these types of inspections to make sure that the house is worthy for them to lend you the money to buy it. So it really is all in the buyer's favor to have these inspections done to ensure that you are buying a safe and sanitary home. And so once all the inspections are done and hopefully the house has passed all the inspections and anything that needed to be fixed that came up during the inspections has been taken care of. And once you have done everything you need to do with your lender is going to give something called the clear to close. The clear to close is a happy thing. It's a happy thing that we realtors love to get from the lenders. The realization that, yes, we are cleared to go ahead to settlement and close. And that is a wonderful thing. And there are going to be some disclosures that you're going to be given. You're going to need to be given some disclosures with regard to everything, all of the financial details of the deal. And that should be given to you 3 full days before your settlement date. And so that's going to come from your settlement company or your lender to you. So you're going to understand all the details with regard to the finances. And what's going to happen is you and I, if I'm your buyer's agent, are going to do something called a final walkthrough. The final walkthrough is where we get to go to the home and examine it and make sure that it is in at least the same condition that we found it when we first went for the home inspection, and that every item on the home inspection has been fixed, and any other items that have come up during the contract period have been taken care of. And once we determine that, yes, the home is in acceptable condition for you to take possession of it, we inform the selling agent, the listing agent, who, what you'll realize is that this terminology for buyers, you would think of as the selling agent being what I would think of as the listing agent. Really, the selling agent is the one that represents the buyer. They sold the home. The listing agent is the one that represents the seller. They listed it and marketed it and put it out there to be sold. So really, it's the listing agent we would inform that everything was great for the walkthrough and we're ready to go to settlement. And so on settlement day, we'll all arrive at the settlement office. And nowadays, settlements are happening everywhere. A lot of times, we're not even going to settlement offices to do settlements. Settlement agents are meeting us at the house to sign all the papers and settle, or meeting at another location. In fact, you can settle on a home without even being present. If you're out of state, if you if you're not able to be present for the settlement can be done. It's called a mail away, or it can be done in other ways too, electronically. So settlements, how they happen, are not necessarily the way they happened 25 years ago. But at some point, but we still have traditional settlements too. And if so, you'll arrive at the settlement office or wherever the designated place is, and the settlement agent will arrive with the paperwork, and they will get your identification and make sure it's you that's signing for this. And they're going to notarize your signatures and all, and you'll sign a multi-page document regarding the entire sale. And at the end of signing all of that, I will have the wonderful pleasure of handing you the keys to your new house. And I can't tell you, that's one of the really satisfying things about my job, being able to hand people the keys, and or being able to call, if I listed the house, being able to either call them if they're out of state, or turn to my people who are selling and let them know, hey, we're good, we're closed, we're done. Typically, when you're at settlement, sellers sign before the buyers. So the sellers could sign, but it's not done until the buyer signs. So that's why a lot of times I'll, be in touch by phone, or be able to let them know if it's not a simultaneous closing where the buyers are right there. I love contacting the people who are selling the house and say, we're closed. It's done. Congratulations, you've sold your house. So there's a lot involved, and I've taken up about a half an hour of your time so far. And so there's a lot involved, though, with these transactions. And I've just given you really an overview of the process. And so what I'd like to do is invite you to give me a call at 540-710-4205. That's 540-710-4205. And also, I will more than likely list my toll-free number somewhere around this video, wherever you are viewing it, if you need a toll-free number. And make an appointment. Make an appointment for a buying consultation so that I can sit down and look at your personal situation. We can talk about your ability to buy a house, your credit, your situation, and I can recommend a very good lender to help you through that step. If you're already pre-approved, give me a call today. We can sit down and talk about your criteria. I can get you some listings, and before you know it, we can be out hunting for a house. So I'm very happy to help you, whether you are a first-time home buyer, whether this is your fifth home or multiple home buyers, whether you are military or civilian, if you are an investor. I definitely enjoy working with investors and have worked with them now for years. And so certainly be happy to talk to you if you're an investor and looking to go ahead and invest and buy a home. Whatever your situation is, I am happy to assist you in reaching your real estate goals. So thank you for listening. If you've been here all this time, I really appreciate it. You've gotten to the end of the video. And I enjoy, and I will enjoy, hearing from you and hearing your comments, hearing your feedback, and would love to talk with you personally about helping you reach your real estate goals. Thank you again. My name is Michelle Smith. I am with the Lord and Smith team, powered by eXp Realty, and we are the team where real estate is on a firm foundation. That's our slogan, real estate on a firm foundation. And that foundation you will see if you go to our website at LordandSmithRE.com. That's LordandSmithRE.com. And you will see the foundations upon which we practice real estate. Thank you so much and have a great day.